All right. I guess I could talk about this. All right. A lot of people, I know I was like one person that would do this a lot. I would like conflate. Is that a word? I don't know what the word is, but I would confuse like consuming new information with like actually learning. I just had this like idea pretty much that like if you want to get better, you have to like constantly be practicing. I know I'll talk about this a lot, but I'm gonna lead this to something different. So like I had this idea that like you need to constantly be practicing, right? Like you need to constantly be aim training or constantly be demo reviewing. Like you have to constantly keep this on your mind. And what I realized recently is that like how beneficial time and silences to improving everything, your mental health, like Counter-Strike, just creating good habits, breaking bad habits, just literally like time and complete silence where you're with your own thoughts and you're like introspecting and stuff is literally like an essential in my life now, and it is a huge reason for my improvement in Counter-Strike, like rapid improvement in Counter-Strike. I'll set time at the end of the day and even during the day where I just don't, there's nothing, like no phone, nothing. It's literally I just sit in my basement, I sit on the couch and I just think. I just sit there and think, and I sit with my emotions. Whatever comes up, I express them, I feel them. Because I grew up with like a really bad problem of like bottling up emotions and not expressing that stuff, and that just leads to addictions and what like really bad coping mechanisms. Because you gotta express that stuff. And but like what's really beneficial about this is that when you have time to think, everything that you learn in that day, you just you think about it. It just comes to the top of your mind. You start thinking. Like that's the key to like sealing what you learn in a day in stone is like just by thinking about it more. Like when you're in time and silence and you just decompress. Like the way what I realized is okay. So like learning new things is kind of like a stressor. Like it's low key a stressor, and you only retain the things that you learn is if like you decompress after. It's like stress and recovery. And so like I set so much time, so many like periods in the day where it's just to decompressing and just chilling. Like on drives to the gym or drives home from work, I don't listen to music. I just sit there and just with my thoughts and just decompress and just whatever comes up comes up. I think I set time to think. Bro, you don't know how many fucking like brilliant ideas I've had or mentality shifts I've had or like things I should add to the team. What's that called? An epiphany. How many epiphanies I've had daily since I started like I added this habit into like my day-to-day routine of just time and silence. Bro, around like 4 to 6 times a day, I have like those holy shit thoughts like daily, bro. It's daily where I'm just constantly improving on stuff, and it all comes from the time and silence. Like that shit is so beneficial to improving at anything. Because I don't just play Counter Strike. Like I'll play chess and I'll just think about stuff from chess, and I'll have epiphanies about that. And working out, I'll have like epiphanies about some form issues or like things I need to like work on, things I could add to my routine, my workout split and stuff. Just like all the mentality shifts too, like realizing like some toxic things I was doing or some emotions will come up that I have had suppressed for a while. I get to express them and I feel relief after. Like literally every substantial step of improvement has come from my time in silence, and it's such an essential part in my day-to-day routine now that I do it several times a day. I used to just be at night. I would just do like 30 minutes of just time in silence at night, and then I'd finish it with just meditation. I do it so often in the day, and it's so, dude, I'll wake up and then I'll do my editing nowadays, and then between editing and aim training, I'll go and lay down on my couch, and then I'll do Wim Hof breathing. And during that, I'm thinking too, like I'm just, time in silence, stuff will come up while during the meditation that I'm like, holy shit, that's crazy idea. And I'll write it down. And that's the other big thing I did too, was just journaling everything. Cause like my mind runs at like 1,000 miles per minute, dude. This used to happen all the time. I'll just be driving and like I'll get thoughts. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. I should do that. And then I just never do it. And then I forget about it and it just drifts away. And I realized like I had to catch and capture these thoughts, dude. I had to capture them. Every time I get a thought about something I got to do or something I could add to like the strat book or something I could start doing differently when I default a site or just anything, bro. Literally anything that I just come up with, I write everything down. I write everything down and I have time and silence to think. All my improvement comes from that. And on top of that too is that when you do this, it's improved my sleep, because I used to get pretty bad sleep where I just go to bed and my mind would be racing. And the reason why my mind would race while I'm sleeping is because I would not have any other time throughout the day just to think. So when you end up like finally just no distractions, no input into your brain, that's when your mind's gonna start thinking, because you're made to think. I got this from Healthy Gamer, but he was saying like back in the day, you're on a farm and you're like picking berries and stuff. While you're doing that, you have so much time to think. Like humans were meant to just think, where you're just in silence, just doing mundane work, thinking. And nowadays it's so distracting with your phone, computers, TV, videos, TikTok, like all that shit just like bombards your brain and stresses you out. And you just need to have time and silence just to think and like decompress. And I've improved so quickly my mental health has skyrocketed. I feel like a G. My confidence is improved. My anxiety is diminished. Depression gone. Like, bro, I'm telling you, meditation, time in silence, and journaling is fucking key. It is literally key. I have 9 notebooks just from Counter-Strike demos alone. I have, notes on my phone. Like, I don't even know how to describe how long it is, but it's long as fuck. I'll have like different sections. I'll have CS notes on my phone, mental notes, chess notes, basketball notes, workout notes, video ideas. Like, I just write everything down, and I have time to like capture these thoughts, and I basically farm them. I farm these thoughts in the time and silence. Like, I don't know. It's something I just realized I thought I'd just share. It's like, you need to do less than you think to actually improve at something. You need to like actually step away from it to actually improve faster. And just, you need time and silence to improve. Like, what's that Kanye bar? Time and silence is a luxury. Cussing at your baby mama, I guess that's why they call it custody. You know what I'm saying though? Like, time and silence is literally a luxury, dude. Like, actually, like, what do you have nothing to think about? That is cap. 100% you have something to think about. 100% you have something to think about. You have suppressed emotions. You have stuff that happened throughout the day. And if you have nothing to think about, let's say you don't, nothing's coming to your mind, just meditate. Time and silence to meditate. That's the thing is, I used to like, I would aim train or whatever. I'd be grinding this, and then to decompress, I'd go on TikTok or YouTube and I just watch videos. And what's so bad about that is that like that's not true relaxation. That's not true decompression. When you're watching TikToks and stuff, like, it feels relaxing, but it's not. It's just numbing. You're actually stimulating your brain even more, and you're not actually resting your mind. Like, I was watching some healthy gamer video today. And he's talking about how like in between work, you should just pace around your room and think. And that's a good way to decompress and get back to your work and like come back with a fresh mind. You feel better. Get some activity going. The key fundamental within that is just time and silence. Time and silence to think. Like, when you're constantly inputting, like stimulating your brain, you're not recovering, you're not resting. You're really not. Like, if you're to like watch a whole demo, 2-3 demos, and then when you're finished, go watch TikToks and then go to sleep, like, you never had time to like just let your brain just fucking sit and let the information just seep in and just actually get like written down into your brain and retained. I don't know. I was thinking of like an analogy for this. Like, think of that if you went to an arcade, right? You went to an arcade and they change their tickets every day. And the only way, it's one of those new arcades, right? The only way to use the tickets is to like go through the ticket machine, and it counts all your tickets, and then you get your card, and it's like, oh, you had 500 tickets. You can go to the cashier and cash out your 500 tickets. The only way to cash out the tickets is by getting that card. And the only way to get that card is by cashing out your tickets at the end of that day. Because let's say the arcade, they change their tickets every single day. This is how I made the analogy work. So if you're learning new things, that's you getting tickets, and then you have to put the tickets in the ticket machine, and it takes a while for them to process all the tickets. You have to do that by the end of the day. If you don't, those tickets are worthless. You didn't get the card to cash in yet, and it takes time to process all those tickets. You see what I'm saying? So like, that's like learning new information. If you learn new information, you have to have time in the day to process that new information. If you don't, you're gonna lose it. You're not gonna retain all of it. And I realize if you struggle with time and silence, it's probably because you're trying to suppress some shit that's gonna come up when you're in silence. Like, for me, I know that like the time and silence got really hard for me after my grandma died. I would not want to go downstairs and just sit by myself, because I would cry, bro. Like, there was something I was trying to avoid, but like, that's where the healing is. That's how you feel better, is by letting that shit out. Like, when you're in silence, like, that's how you process new information. That's how you process emotions. That's how you get rid of your anxieties. Like, you deal with insecurities. That's how you get over those issues. That's how, like, if you have fear of being a bad player, sitting with that fear is how you get rid of it, bro. Actually addressing the emotions and addressing the problems is how you deal with them, instead of suppressing them and coping with them with TikTok, porn, vaping, all that shit, bro. You gotta cut that shit out. Even working out, dude. Working out can be toxic too. Like you gotta realize that there's coping mechanisms, and what coping mechanisms are, that's what they are. They're to cope with something. They don't fix it though. It just medicates it. So working out is a healthy coping mechanism. It's still a coping mechanism though, and that's what I was doing wrong too. Is that I would just rely on working out and self-improvement. That's also another coping mechanism where I'd rely on this stuff to make me feel better, instead of actually addressing the real problems underneath. Death of my grandma, OCD, anxiety, insecurities, ADHD, like dealing with the actual real shit, bro. That's where I see all the improvement. I've been working out for 6 years. Shit never gave me confidence. You want to know why? Because I was insecure. And you can never solve insecurity with something external. You only solve it by dealing with the actual insecurities and the emotions that got you to that point of feeling insecure. If you're called fat or skinny, dealing with when that first happened. There's a lot of psychological shit that goes into this, bro. I think that's Yeah, that's pretty much what I was gonna say. Just how important time in silence is, and how it's essential for improving life, mental health, Counter Strike, everything. Bro, trust me, bro. It was life changing, life changing. It's also a great time, you know. Pray, read your Bible, all that good shit, dude. Like, I don't know,
True.
man.